Hey YouTube, well, I got some footage here. This is a video strip to begin with. What I want you to pay attention to is the outline of the clouds here, how they're radiating from the point of where the sun is. And I've seen this before, but what is coming here in a moment from this is in Hazlet, Texas. I'm on my way back to the rail, dropping my load and then taking another load. And as I've said many times, it is kind of like surreal how our sky is looking. And sometimes I've said that it is looking like another planet. And indeed it do. It's going a little fast here because we don't got all the time in the world to sit here and show it all. Even though I would love to, because I got a lot of footage out there. And here we get a last glimpse of the incoming to the rail, and a last glimpse of this surreal sky. And the next sequence which is coming is from Sherman, Texas, the following morning. And that is really where I was saying to myself, something ain't right here. This is bizarre. And very bizarre. Just a second. Well, all I can say is something is going on up there. And this is Sherman, Texas in the morning, next morning. Can you see the resemblance here? I'm rolling out before sunset. The sun is beginning to, before sunrise, the sun is beginning to give lights on the sky, but it's still not on the horizon. But I got lots of pictures of this particular sunrise in Sherman, Texas, and going into Oklahoma on US 75, going north. And I just think that it is important to show this in combination with still images, because the still images is showing something that I don't get on the video camera, and yet it gets a lot. But you can see it's the same as the day before. It's radiating out from the same point, which I find very peculiar, indeed very strange. So we will have a last glimpse of it here in a second when I come around and coming out again, and I will do a left turn going north. But that is what it looks like. But there's more to it than that, just these images. And they will show up here in a moment when I start to show you the stills. There will be 3 stills before that. And this is later from the same sunset. Now I'm in Oklahoma. I think I'm driving in Caddo at this point in time. And as you can see, it's wild. And just wait till you see the rest of the images, the still images. Something is going to reveal itself here. And I think you know what I'm already talking about. The title of this video has already revealed what this is about. But I still think it is important to show the video sequence. Look at this insane sunrise. And that will be the end of this journey. Okay. This is some pictures, 3 of them, which I took I don't know, a little month ago, I guess. And I just thought this was an insane sunrise. Just look at that. It looks like a painting. It just don't look real. I mean, what is going on with that? Let's just have a zoom on it. Not going to spend too much time on these 3 images because I got a bunch of other pictures from the video sequence you just saw, the stills. But just take a look at this. I mean, what is going on here? I have no idea. It is just super bizarre looking. Unreal. Okay, now we go to the real images. And this is the usual suspect, meaning chemtrails. I call them the usual suspects. And again here, some usual suspects, chemtrails cloaking our sun. And cloaking our sun again. But just look at it. It looks really like another planet. Just look at how this looks like fog, but it's chemtrails, and then we got blue sky here, and we got the usual suspects, which has recently been around. But now we get to some other images, and again here, which I call the canopy, where the sun is up here in this area, but you can't see it. And this canopy clouds, as I call them, are a super thin layer of chemtrails, which is induced by, I don't know, airborne devices, cell phone towers from the ground. I don't know. But something is producing them, and they're very uniform, and they're quite frequent, and they are clearly a telltale sign that something is being manipulated here. Very clear. Just a few of them. And again, you see the sun is in there in all this mess. But look at the layers of these chemtrails. There are some layers above, and then there's the canopy below. So, what's the purpose? What is the purpose of this? I don't know. And I've been a little lazy lately doing anything. I've had a lot on my mind, and I still got a lot off my mind regarding my wife's health, and that worries me. But I hope that everything will be fine. I surely do. So let's continue. That's just a lot of the same pictures, because I snap a lot of them, because something might show which not showing in the picture before that. And again, you can see these super thin clouds, and again here you see this fanning out, like you saw in the video sequence. And I remember, not that I follow him, but BP Earth Watch with Michael Around the World, and Paul Begley has also spoken about it, that this energy wave is coming in here on the 26th and hitting Earth, whatever. And this is from the video sequence. This is a still from that. So you can see there's this, like it's radiating out from one spot, at one point. The sun is here, right? But it's not radiating out from where the sun is. And there's a very logical explanation for that, and I'll come to that. As you see here, how they're fanning out the canopy, and after the sun sets, all this just dissipates, and what we're left with is a blue sky. Okay, let's just walk through these in a hurry. I want to get to the matter of what I really wanted to talk about here. And again here, this is after, pretty much just before the sun is setting. And you see it's thinning out now. They're kind of loosening up. And this is the remnant of it. Just, the sun has set, but there's still a lot of light in the sky, and that is pretty much the remains of it. When you see it coming from one point, radiating out from one spot only. And now we're coming to the most interesting part of all these pictures. I was outside doing my pre-trip and was wanting to go over and throw my trash can out, and I just looked up at the sky and turned on a dime, took my phone and shot some images, because wow, man, what the heck is going on there? Look at that. Look at this carpet. Look at these fanning out rays, and yet there's these lines going across from that. And it looks like a fabric, literally like a fabric. And another image. Let me just zoom in for a second on some of it here. I mean, it really, really don't look natural, because it's not natural. Naturally. Let me see. Zoom out. Can you see this? I mean, it got structure. It's like, I don't know, it's like a canvas. It's just bizarre. And look how it is cut through here. And again, another one. Just insane. And that's a little later, when there's more light in the sky. You think the sun is coming up now, right? No, it's not coming up yet, but you think it is. Look at the reddishness in the clouds. Look at the pattern in these chemtrails. And look how they're fanning out from the exact same spot, right? Like this energy wave, which is coming in on the 26th. And again, it's crazy. Totally insane to look at. I have never seen anything like this before. This is the most madness of chemtrails I have seen so far. And you see how it's radiating out from the same spot. It just, I mean, what's going on here? I can't explain it, other than I know what's going on. And the picture coming up here soon will show that beyond reasonable doubt. And for you out there who already wants to say, oh, it's a lens flare, well, I already want to give you my reply to that. You must be dumber than cornflakes coming with such an assumption that it is a lens flare, because it's not. Not even close. How can it be a lens flare when the sun is not even shining on it? It's just light from the sky. And it continues. Look at the color. Bloody red here. And here, over here, we got some extra light. And there's a reason for that. And you see it again, bloody red, radiating from the same spot. And there's something going on over here. Well, I will reveal it to you. Already in this image, you're beginning to see some of it. Here, the redness, and over here, something red is showing up now. Oh, here is the damning evidence. We have a light object in this part of the picture. This picture is not in total focus, unfortunately, but it still proves my case. Correct? This is our sun coming up, right here. Our sun. And we're talking about pretty much 45 minutes after the first images I showed you from that sunrise in Sherman, Texas, and the video sequence from the morning when I drove out. Maybe half an hour, something like that. Yeah, between half an hour and 45 minutes later. And the sun is still not up. Now look at that. It's still not in 100% focus, but you see here the sun, and you see the other sun from here. And the energy from this object apparently is creating this pattern, as it looks like it's some sort of energy wave hitting us. Hey YouTube, well, I got some footage here. This is a video strip to begin with. What I want you to pay attention to is the outline of the clouds here, how they're radiating from the point of where the sun is. And it is kind of like surreal how our sky is looking. And sometimes I've said that it is looking like another planet. And indeed it do. And the last glimpse of this surreal sky. And the next sequence which is coming is from Sherman, Texas, the following morning. And that is really where I've seen this before, but what is coming here in a moment from this is in Hazlet, Texas. I'm on my way back to the rail, dropping my load and then taking another load. And as I've said many times, it's going a little fast here because we don't got all the time in the world to sit here and show it all, even though I would love to, because I got a lot of footage out there. And here we get a last glimpse of the incoming to the rail.